guys, having a look at the final homework for term 3. Question 1. Your answer should be x squared over 6yz. I'm going to give you 1 mark for the top being simplified and 1 mark for the bottom being simplified. If I make any mistakes, let me know. Question 1b, 2k squared over 9. Again, 2 marks. We always need to simplify. Okay, question 2 was all about your index laws. So 2a was x squared, 1 point. 2b was y to the power of 10. When we multiplied terms that have the same base, we add their powers together. 2c, when we multiply, we have a power inside a power, we multiply the powers together and we get 15. (2d), we had a to the power of 0, well that just simplified to 1, and same with c to the power of 0, that simplified to 1, so we just have 3 times 1 times b to the power of 5 times 1, which is 3b to the power of 5. E, we do 2 times 6 is 12, p to the 6 times p is p to the 7, q to the 4 times q to the 2 is q to the 6, so we get, that's a pretty hefty 1 pointer. I think that would be more than 1 point in your exam, but just do 1 point for today. Either you got it, you sort of got it for half a point, or you didn't get it for no points. And f is 5z to the power of 6. Yep. No, I would also accept a z like that as long as it looks like a z and not a number 2. But there's no... Anyway. G, 2g, your answer is 4a cubed times b. (2h) is... now, I think with h, a mistake that I'm likely to see, that I hope I don't see, is that we don't square the 6 as well. So make sure you got 36. And then it's e to the power of 12 times f to the power of 0, which is just 1. So your final answer is 36 e to the power of 12. Hands up if you got that one correct. And then the last one is m to the power of 4 times n to the power of 8. Okay, question 3. The cost of 4 hot dogs and a $3.50 hamburger is the same as 3 hot dogs and 3 $2 cans of soft drink. What is the cost of a hot dog? So you get, let X be the cost of a hot dog. That is a point. Then we need an equation. We have 4 hot dogs, so that's 4x, plus $3.50 equals 3x plus 3 times 2, or 6. Okay, that's all right. That'll give you half then, probably, for that equation. And then, Christian, if you've solved the equation correct and did the rest right, I can give you error carried forward. So that's okay. But just that equation, just be careful. Okay, well then I think that's a really quick test though for you to be like, something's wrong. Yeah. All right. So the dad is going to give you $1 to buy a house. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Alrighty, so the final cost of 1 hot dog is $2.50. That was 4 points, and one of the points was for writing an answer in a sentence at the end. Now, Christian and I are just having a good chat because he said, oh, I made a mistake with my equation, and my final answer was negative $1.50. So that's really, because that's all right, he misread the question, miswrote the equation. So that's a really quick test though. if you get a negative value, when you're ready, if you get a negative value for X, you probably know you've done something wrong because they're not going to pay you money to buy a hot dog, right? It's not going to go that way. So that's a really quick test. Okay, that page was out of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 marks on that page. Next page. All right, factorizing. You get half a point for the number out the front. So half a point for the 4, half a point for the brackets.
1.4? What do you mean?
Yep.
14.
That is not the most factorized form because they've got a 6 and you've got a 4m, right? So they both have a 2 that can come out of them still. So you want to look for their highest common factor. These are all 1 point, but you get half a point for inside the brackets and half a point for outside the brackets. Inside the brackets? No. But I would normally just follow on from exactly how the question has said it. But. Is factorizing coming back to us a little bit? Yes. All right. So they were all 1 mark. Question 5. The first thing we need to do is put the variables onto the same side. So I would take this 4b over to that 10b. So that was 1 point. And then the next thing we needed to do was take the 4 to the other side. So that's actually 2 steps I've done in 1 line of working. If you want to do it in 2 lines of working, that's fine. And then 1 point for getting 11 over 6. So that's 3 points. Just leave it as 11 over 6. Don't change it to a decimal because that is not going to be a nice decimal. I don't think.
No, it's 1.85.
But it's not. It's 1.83 recurring.
I wrote recurring.
Over the 8 or just the 3? But you thought it was a 5. Okay. All right. Number 5b. Number 5b was a little bit tricky. You had to change this minus x into minus 3 over 3x. So that's 1 point there for changing that to 3 over 3. Then you add it to the other side, you get 10 over 3. Then you multiply and then you divide. Yes, Max? Yep, you can do that at the start. You get the same thing. So you could clear out the fractions at the start. If you times by 3, so 7x over 3 equals 4 minus x. All right. Bit too chatty today, guys. We're in the final week of revision and we have lost Friday's lesson. So we are down a lesson. We need to be focused. The question was, could I just times everything by 3? You can, but you need to times this whole right-hand side by 3. So you need to use a bracket there. And you get 7x equals 12 minus 3x. And then you get 10x equals 12. So x still equals 6 over 5. Okay, because if you do something to one side, you have to do it to all of the other side. You can't just times it by, you can't just pick and choose what you multiply by. Because otherwise you would be saying, did you just times the 4, for example? Okay, so you would then be saying that some number, like let's call this y, equals 3 times 4 minus x. That's not the same thing. Just basically when you think about, can we stop talking? Great, thank you. When you think about balancing equations, if you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other side, and you can't just pick and choose which parts of the other side you do it to. You have to just do it to everything on the other side. Try and think of a better way to explain it, but it's not coming to me. For C, you actually do need to expand the brackets for this one straight away. Or did anyone think of another option to solve this one? That's what I just said we do. Did anyone think of another option? Did anyone think of another option other than Haruth and Maya's brilliant idea of expanding the brackets? All right, let's see if you can find one. Quick, what else could we do instead of expanding those brackets? No, there's a times there, so we can't just get rid of that 4 by adding it. Divide everything by 4. If I divide everything by 4, I get 2c minus, this just becomes the brackets because I've got, I've divided by 4, and then what's the right-hand side equal? 2. So then I get 2c minus c minus 3 equals 2. I get c equals 5. So you could divide everything by 4 if you wanted to, but you have to literally divide everything by 4, which is something that we would probably make a mistake on. All right, 3 points to that one. Yep. Why would it not be negative? So you expand this bracket, right, and you get negative 4c. Yes? Okay, and then you've got 8c minus 4c, which is positive 4c. Is that okay? All right, volume of a prism is what's the formula for any prism's volume, Naomi? That is a cylinder for any prism. Jack? That's a cylinder for any prism. Listen to each other, guys. Any prism. Amy? Well done. Area of the cross section times by the height. In this case of a cylinder, the cross section is a circle. So you find the area of the cross section. All right, your answer is 140.74. Yep. Did you use 3.14? I don't think so. I got 7.4. Half a point off. All right. 6B. What is the cross section? The shape with the cross section? Not quite. Parallelogram has 2 sets of parallel sides. Yep. A trapezium. Thank you, Jess. A trapezium. So you had to find the area of that trapezium, which was 39/2. So I needed to see some evidence somewhere on your page of finding the area of that cross section. 1 for the formula, 1 for substitute, 1 for solve with units, and then 1 for finding the area of the cross section. Yeah, that's this here. A half A plus B times H. Yep. That's if you got 39/2 and then you multiplied it by 6, that's fine. All right, the mean was 3. 2 points for the mean. 1 point for working out, 1 point for the answer. If you got different answers to me, let me know. The mode was 8, 1 point. The pardon? The median is 3.5 because it was the middle of the middles, and the middles were 2 and 5. The range was 9 minus -4, which is 13. And then your interquartile range is going to be 2 points. I need to see 1 point for 8 minus -1 and 1 point for getting the answer of 9. Did anyone get 9? 7.5. So you find your middle, and then you find the middle of your middles. And you had an odd number on either half, so you just find their middles. There was an odd number of points here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so you just take the middle of those points. So what you found sounds like you found the average. All right, so that page was out of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 14, 17, 20, 24, 27 points. 27 points.
Can you go to 4B then? Oh, that's just 1 point. Okay, that's fine. Wait, miss, how many was it? 6 on 6? What's not, is that the total?
The whole thing is out of 44 points.
I got 40. No, I got. Wait. I got 40. What's 3 minus 1? 3 plus 1? 3 plus 1's 4, right, miss? And 44 minus 4 is 40. I got 36 and a half.
All right, on to the challenge questions. Okay, so this is a speed, distance, time question. So I would use a table. Speed, distance, time. And actually, I've drawn too many. You explain the table to him? That's good. All right, so on a 130-kilometer trip, a car traveled at 55 kilometers per hour, and then it traveled at 40 kilometers per hour. The trip took 2.5 hours. Determine how long it traveled at 40 kilometers per hour. What should we make X? Good, the distance, that. At what? 40 kilometers an hour. Why do we make it that? That's exactly what the question's asking. So whatever the question's asking, you make X equal that. So I go into my box and I look for, well, where is distance for 40 kilometers an hour? It's there. So that's what X is. If the whole trip was 130 kilometers and I traveled X kilometers at 40 kilometers an hour, how many kilometers did I travel at 55 kilometers an hour? That was a really big question, wasn't it? If I traveled in total 130 and I traveled X here, how much goes here? 130 minus X. Okay, what is the speed if I'm traveling at 55 kilometers an hour? Good. And what is the speed if I'm traveling at 40 kilometers an hour? Okay, we use our speed, distance, time triangle. Time equals distance over speed to fill in the time. Remember, there's some more information in the question here, this bit here, but we don't use that until after. If you filled in 2 columns of the table, you're now ready to use your triangle to do the 3rd column. You don't use the information from the question for the 3rd column. Okay, so distance 130 over X divided by speed is my time there, and my distance over speed. So now what do I do with those 2 times? Make an equation. Great, what's the equation going to be? Don't overcomplicate it. What does the question say? How long did the trip take? How long did the trip take? 2.5 hours. Yes, Max? We're just going to add this amount of time plus that amount of time, and together it equals 2.5 hours. So the time traveled at 55 plus the time traveled at 40 together equals 2.5 hours. That's my equation. How do I solve that equation? Yeah, common denominator, or let's clear out the fractions. What do I multiply by? 55 and 40. Okay, so when I multiply this one by 55 and I multiply that by 40, I'm going to multiply everything by both. So this one, the 55s will cancel, and I'm just left with 40 outside of 130 minus X. This one, the 40s will cancel, so what am I left with? Good. And then the last one, we got 55 times 40 times 2.5. is 5,500. Yep. You think what? 30 minutes. Oh, it's asking for time, not how far. So if then it's asking for time, Christian, turn around. It's asking for time and I've calculated distance. Whoops. I can sub in now and it'll be 40 over 40. So it'll be, 20 kilometers out of 40. So it'll be 0.5 hours. Half an hour. Half an hour. Okay, that means, yeah, you guys should have, why did you not stop me? No, you didn't stop me. This should be x here. You should have made that x, and this should be 2.5 minus x. But anyway, don't have time to keep going on that, so let's move on. Okay, Kay is a generous person, likes to give gifts. If you did not try number 9, that's a bit disappointing. This was not a hard question. You need to give it a crack. You need to be trying these questions. All right, let x be the original price. She used to be able to buy 7 blocks of chocolate, and then the price rose by $1.30, so the cost is no longer X, but it's $1.30, and so now she can only buy 5 blocks of chocolate. That's the equation we should have. Does anyone have that? Yeah. Okay. 7x equals 5x plus, what's $1.30 times 5? $6.50. So we get 2x equals $6.50. Therefore, x equals $3.25. Final sentence, the original cost was $3.25. Yep.
Because it's 7 blocks, and then it just changes it to 5 boxes. Would the blocks of 5?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to say blocks. Yeah. So that should be blocks. Yeah, good pickup. Okay, last one. Student has 6 marks on his report card. Yeah, good one. Stu has 6 marks on his report card. All right. So there are his 6 results. And the average was 75%. So remember, average is when we add all of those up, and then we do what? Divide by 6, and that equaled 75%. Okay, now, his English mark, let's make this box on the end here English. His English mark was incorrectly reported. It was 39%, but it was meant to be 93%.
What? How'd they get that wrong?
Well, they just flipped the numbers around. It happens. People are human. Okay. So, this is 93%. All right. What we need to do is we need to figure out, well, what is the new average? So, all of these 5 results here, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, I'm going to let the sum be x. The sum of results 1 to 5 is going to be x. So we could have an equation now where we've got x plus 39%. So his first 5 results added together is x, plus his English result divided by 6 equals 75%. Yes, Aiden? That's fine as well. It just assumes, yours just assumes that each one of his results was the same, but it still will get the same answer. Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, it all cancels, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, good job, guys, both of you. Sounds like you're doing a great job with these harder ones. So x plus 39 equals 450. Therefore, his 5 results altogether add up to 411. Is that what we got? So his first 5 results add to 411. And so then the last thing that you need to do is substitute in. So there's these ones all together are going to add to 411. So now we need to find the new average. 411 plus 93 divided by 6 is 84. My gosh, how do people make the mistake of writing the wrong ones? T, it happens. 84% is the new average. Yep. Yep. That was pretty fast, and it makes sense. So. All right, excellent job. A look at what is happening this week. Okay, so today we are just going to do a quick review of percentages. Tomorrow, I've received emails from about 6 of you. Well done. With a question that you would like to go through tomorrow in the lesson. That's great. Some of you need to send me an email still with a question that you want to go through for tomorrow's lesson. On Thursday, you will have a practice exam. I will email it to you today. I would prefer that you don't look at it and that you just bring it to Thursday and do it like a real exam. If you, yeah, we'll see how we go. Then Thursday, we will what's your preference? Is your preference to mark one of the exams in class and do one of the exams in class, or I think that's probably my preference actually, to talk about some solutions together. And then the other one you'll probably just do at like over the 3-day weekend, and then we can talk about it on Monday. Yeah, well, your exam is it's exactly like last term. Have we not looked at our revision page? Satch, come on, you've got to tune in. Look at this. We went through this for all of last lesson. You have all of this stuff online. Tune in. So you guys have 2 exams. It's a week tomorrow, both of your exams. One of them is a calculator exam. One of them is a non-calculator exam. Both exams are 40 minutes, and then you have 3 minutes of perusal. If you have not looked at this page yet, I would say that you are not really doing much work. You need to be revising. Okay, so this page, we went through it last lesson. I showed you what all this revision was. I showed you have heaps of revision activities. You need to be using it. Anyway, so the goal will be on Thursday, our lesson is at the start of the day. Okay, so here is your option. I know some of you will not want to take this option, and that is okay. Your option will be that I will be in here from 7:30. Okay, I know some of you won't want to take that, and that's fine. If you would like to come in to school and come into class at 7:30 so that you have enough time to do both practice tests and mark them in class, I will make that an option for you. Okay, so if you want to come in and be able to mark them and get feedback on both of them, because when I look at our timetable, we lose Friday and then we only have Monday, and that's the last lesson before the exam. So that last lesson before the exam, I'm hoping that that's just you guys coming to me and saying, this is what I'm stuck on, what can you help me on for right before the exam? So if you would like to, again, this is not forced, but I will be in DO3 from 7:30 so that you can get both of the practice tests done and marked in that double. Okay, you can bring your breakfast, you can bring whatever you want. If you're coming at 8, that's totally fine, but just respect that some people will be in here already, so you need to come into exam conditions and get straight into your exam. 7:30, I will be in here from 7:30. Yes, people will be starting the exam at 7:30. Yeah, is that okay? Okay, that's just if you, because otherwise what's going to happen is we have a double lesson. You probably will only have time to do one exam and mark one exam. You probably won't, anyway. It's just like if you get to school, if you're like me and you get here at 7 o'clock and you kind of just like goof around for an hour in the morning, maybe that's an hour that you'd rather have like of socializing later, and you just do an hour of maths in the morning and just get it sorted so that you don't have to do as much work later. Anyway, some of you will be like, nah, that's totally fine. Okay, here we go. Quick review of percentages for 5 minutes. Let's go. Okay. This one, oh my gosh, you have 15 seconds. Go. Ten seconds. All right, have we got an answer? Did we simplify it?
Yes.
Silly.
Yes.
So, anyway, 1 and 60 over 100, not acceptable. 1 and 3/5. Next one. 10 seconds. 0.1345. Next one. 30 seconds. Oh, not even. Done? Okay, option 1 is that you realize that 40 goes into 100 2.5 times. So you multiply by 2.5, you multiply by 2.5, and you get 17.5 out of 100, which is 17.5%. Is that right? Option 2 is we didn't realize that, that's fine. So you just multiply by 100 over 1, you cross simplify, you get 5 here and 2 here, you get 35 over 2%, which is 17.5%. Are we good? 5 seconds. Yeah? All right, 45.8%. Guys, you should feel that growth though. Remember in grade 7 you didn't know how to do that? That's great. Good growth. All right, I can express one quantity as a percentage of another. So 34 out of 40, convert that to a percentage, please. Nice, we could remember our strategy from earlier. Which equals times by 2.5. 85%. You got what? Sorry? Yeah. All right, next one. We won't do this one, but if you had to, 60 cents as a percentage out of $5, what do you need to do? Put, what? Can I have one answer? Same units, good. So you would need to make that like 0.6 out of 5 or 60 out of 500. Okay, let's go, 30 seconds. If you're a unitary method fan, I would say that is not a good method for this one. There's a lot faster. What's the fastest one? That's unitary method. Unitary method is when we say like 100% equals 60, therefore 10% equals 6, Therefore, 50% equals.
No, I just did 5. Yeah. And then plus 50. I just did 5% of 60, which is 3. You don't even plus 30, which is 3.
Yep. So then you've got 155% equals 93. Okay, good. Another fast method would be to make 155% into a decimal, of into times, and then we get 1.55 times 60, and we get 93. Okay, find the new value of a $160 item that is marked up by 40%. No. 100% equals 160. Marked up. What percent are we actually trying to find?
40%. No, 60.
140%. We're finding the initial amount and we're adding 40% to that amount. So we should get 224. Good. Option 2 would be to find 140% of 160 that way. Okay, find the cost of a television that has been discounted by 25%. Don't move when the bell goes. This is the last one. What percent are we actually trying to find? 75%. Good. Any takers? Yeah. 645. All right, guys, great job. Lots of revision.